This playoff season, there's only one place where we'll bet, and that's Fanatic Sportsbook. Yes, they're our presenting sponsor, but it doesn't make sense to bet anywhere else if you're a sports fan. Because when you bet, you earn fan cash, win or lose, which means that your bets get you closer to accumulating fan cash for authentic jerseys, hats, memorabilia, and much more. Winning just hits different with fan cash. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut residents, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts residents, call 888-327-5050. New York residents, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland residents, visit mdgamblinghelp.org.
Hey there, Knicks fans. How you doing? It's your boy Jonathan Macri with you for another episode of Betting and Sweating presented by Fanatic Sportsbook. I am here with Sean with a W. Hello, Sean. How are you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to game 4 tonight, and hopefully we shock the world one more time and we go back to because I'm going to game 5 and I want to go back. I want to go in that building 2-2 and not down 3-1.
How bad is it that we somehow arrived at the Knicks winning a game in Indiana against the Pacers is shock the world territory? And I'm not even going to disagree with you because it feels like a win tonight would shock the world. But yeah, I don't know. I should have felt that way. I don't know that I'm an authority on whether it should or should not. But we're both sitting here pretty excited about tonight. I'm oddly enough probably more excited for this game than I was for any of the previous 3. I'll just, before we get into our bets, just very simply, do you think they will come out and play well?
Yes, they will play well.
Okay.
How long will they play well for remains to be seen, but they will play well at some point.
They will play well for a period of 3 minutes and 47 seconds at some point during the game. That's great. We're brimming with confidence. Okay. We're started a little late today. I don't want to waste any more time. Shall we get into our picks?
Yes, let's get into our picks, and I will throw it over to you to lead us off, and then we'll go snake style back and forth.
Absolutely, sure. That sounds good. So I will start us off with our 1-point pick, which is to give a spread, money line, or total team game total or team total. So I am going here with a pretty simple one, over 219.5 points. I'm getting that at -110. I understand that this series has become increasingly defense oriented as the series has moved along. But at the same time, I think these teams, when they play each other, kind of maybe take on like the feel of like whatever's happening in the game, the other team's going to kind of pick up the pace. No pun intended. I think the Pacers are going to come out tonight with a better offensive showing. 5 for 25, obviously, in game 1. So I think, despite the fact that I do believe the Knicks are going to play good defense tonight, I think the Pacers are going to make shots, and I think the Knicks are going to have to make shots as well. I think they will, so that's why I'm taking the over.
So, you know, it's funny. Game 4, everyone I knew was on the under, and I was like, "What am I missing here?" So I left it alone, and of course, it hit easily.
You mean game 3?
Yes, game 3.
Yeah.
I looked at this because this game is begging for an over. It's begging for this series is begging for an over because I mean, look, we saw game 1. It was no one could, the offense was elite. So I like this because I think because this number's been going down. Now you're getting a little bit of value here.
Exactly. So, your bet, my friend.
Yes. So staying on the under train, I'm going with the Knicks team first half team total under 54.5 points at +105. Okay. Now, this bet is foreshadowing for a bet that I will make later in the show, but the Knicks have played 7 playoff games on the road, and they have gone under in the first half in 4 of the 7 games. Including, and the only ones they went over were Detroit game 3, where they came and clapped them.
Yeah.
Detroit game 3, Detroit game 6, and Boston game 6, which was just, that was a laugher from all the way. So, again, on the road, so four under in 4 of the 7 game, and under in 4 of the 7 games. Excuse me. It was Boston game 5, but
Boston
under
game
in
5.
yes. So under in their 7 playoff games, they've hit the under 4 times. So I'm confident that they'll hit this under. And then listen, they scored 45 in game 3 at the half. So they can score 9 more points and you still win.
They do seem to do their best work later in the game. So I think from that perspective, it's probably a smart bet. Okay. Next up is our 2-point bet, which is a Pacers theme bet. Does not have to be a positive Pacers theme bet, although I have a funny feeling I know where Sean is going, because this has become a bit of a theme of these shows throughout this series. Sean, take it away.
Yes, this is the Andrew Claudio Memorial op bet, and that is TJ McConnell over an 8.5 points for even money. So in this series, TJ McConnell's floor has been 10. And I think that was like plus 140, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be greedy. I'm just going to take the 8.5 at even money. But for some reason, I think both the states of Indiana and New York passed a law that TJ McConnell is allowed to get into the paint at will. And also they passed a law that Deuce McBride has to go over every screen instead of under the screen, but that's neither here nor there. So again, listen, TJ McConnell comes in. This is the first time I've taken a op bet that has not been an under, because I like money. So, and I see, and as a wise man once said, the game will tell you what to do, and the game is telling me to take this bet.
Someone definitely said that at some point. So let us see what happens there. I am going in a different direction. Slightly different direction in terms of the type of bet I am making. This is mostly about the value. So Pascal Siakam as the Pacers' top scorer in this game. I'm getting this at plus 160. I think it's a great value. If you look at Pascal Siakam in this series, he's averaging 24.3 points. If you look at his series against the Knicks last year, he averaged an even 20 points. OG Anunoby obviously is the guy that the Knicks will continue to put on Pascal Siakam. And yet I thought it was, I think at the beginning of game 2 told us all that we needed to know about the Pacers, or at least Pascal Siakam's respect level for OG Anunoby one-on-one against his former teammate, when they literally just went at OG out of the gate. Now, can OG do something to make them rethink that strategy? We know he can. We know he's more than capable. But putting all that stuff aside, I just think when you have a Pacer team where everybody is in agreement that the best version of the Pacers is with Tyrese Halliburton dishing rather than swishing, Pascal Siakam's the most likely guy to get the benefit of that. So that is why I am going with this bet. Oh, you're muted. Either that or I.
No, I'm muted. So you know why I like this bet? Because if he's a top scorer, unless he goes off for like 40 like he did in game 2, they're probably going to lose. Well, because as I've said before, like every time when people complain about, Pascal's killing us in the post-ups or whatever, I say, listen, the Pacers don't want to run Pascal ISO post-ups. Like that's not what they want to do. So if they end up doing that, I think that's a bit of a win. So I like this bet because I'm a hater and because I'm a homer.
And they should have, maybe not should have. They could have won game 2 very easily. So yeah, yes. I like this. So we're going to stick with me for the next category, which is to put together a good parlay. Nothing crazy, 2 to 3 legs max. Okay. I know this isn't technically my best bet because we have a best bet category coming up. It is my favorite bet. And maybe that's just because our friends at Fanatic Sportsbook gave me a boost on this one, which I will get to in a moment. So I got Brunson 30 or more points, Cat 20 or more points, and then Josh Hart 10 or more points. I got that at plus 505, boosted to plus 656. I was frankly surprised. I'm always surprised when I put in the parlays and I'm like, whoa, that's good value. Especially this one. I think of these three, Sean, if you were me, which would you be most worried about?
I'm funny you asked that question because that's what I was thinking. And what worries me the most actually is Brunson.
Really?
Yes.
That worries me the least.
Because so it normally it will worry me the most. It will worry me the least normally, but maybe Jalen saw something in the fourth quarter of yesterday's game that made him say, you know what, in crunch time, let me see if I can get these guys more involved. That's the only reason why I'm worried about it. Other than that, clearly, no one on that team can stop him. Like he usually, if he doesn't get 30, it's not because of anything that they're doing. So that's the only reason why. Because honestly, I was looking at Hart triple double for a while. So I'm like,
Okay.
clearly the 10 points I'm not worried about, and Cat, I'm not worried about the 20. So the 30 is what I'm most worried about. But if it's on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 means I'm like scared as hell. I'm probably at like a 3.5, 4.
So my counter to that is 2 nights ago, I witnessed Jalen Brunson play. I'm pretty sure the worst basketball game I've ever seen him play in the playoffs, give or take a game 1 or game 2 against Philly. And even then, I don't think he missed shots in those games. I don't think he played as poorly in those games. And if it's one thing that I feel pretty strongly about Jalen Brunson is that he is not going to have 2 disastrous games in a row. So I feel okay about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cat scored 20 in a quarter. I hope he could score 20 in a game, although this is Karl Anthony Towns, so you never know. And then to me, to answer my own question, I would have said Hart, but it's 10 points. So, you know, he could do that on garbage buckets alone. Your 3-point bet.
So my 3-point bet is a bit of amalgamation of things that I think have had a high they've hit a lot, basically.
I'm sitting looking at this, man. This is here, tell the folks.
All right, so OG 1+ blocks.
Okay.
Cat 2+ threes. Mitch 9+ rebounds for plus 290. Now, OG has had a block in, I believe, 7 of the last 10 games, including 2 of the first 3 games in this series. Cat threes, I think he's finally found his footing, especially after game 2. Because usually when Cat gets quote unquote frozen out in the office late in the game, he usually comes back as a bit more aggressive. Clearly, we saw that in game 3. And Mitch 9+ rebounds. He had 6 last game. I'm going back to this again. Miles Turner routinely gets 4 rebounds a game. Thomas Bryant cannot see this, man. It doesn't matter. Now that Mitch is starting, I think Mitch can get. I'm not even asking for 10. Just get me 9. So with the probability, the high probability of these things happening, I like this plus 290. It's been fluctuating between plus 280 and plus 290 over the last hour. So hopefully you can still catch up plus 290.
My only worry here is whether or not this is going to be the game that Carlisle attempts, and this would worry me for my same bet in this category.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the game Carlisle switches up the coverages? Is this the game he puts a wing on Karl Anthony Towns? Nesmith, we know, is playing. We should mention we do not know what condition he is in. I wonder if there is fear as to whether Nesmith with his ankle can deal with Brunson and like all the crap that Brunson does to try to get guys, duped inside the arc. Wouldn't it be something if Carlisle put Nesmith on Cat and then had Nembhard guarding Brunson, but with Turner helping liberally off Josh Hart? I have no idea what he's going to do, but if I was saying I might consider it.
No, that's a good point. That's a good call out. We'll see.
Okay. Next up, and we're sticking with you for this one.
Mhm.
This is our home run bet. It has to be plus for 4 points. It has to be plus 300 or greater. Sean, what do you got?
So for this one, I did a little digging into the Fanatic Sportsbook and I came up with this halftime full-time bet of Pacers win the first half, Knicks win the game, plus 500. The Knicks have played 15 playoff games. They have been behind at halftime of 7 of them. Of those 7, they've won 5. Twice against Detroit, twice against Boston, and game 3 so far. So, and we've seen this team, they usually pick a quarter to fool around and what have you. So I think plus 500 for this is good value. And listen, if and this ties into earlier when I had the Knicks team total under 54.5, like it's very possible they can Indiana can have the lead at halftime, but we know, like you said earlier, John, this team tends to do its best work in the playoffs in the second half. So that's my home run bet.
I'm shocked at the value. Shocked, because to me, this is like betting on like 2 consecutive coin flips, like heads tails or something.
Yes.
And to get it at plus 500, I think is just really good value. Mine is I don't know if it's about quite the same as flipping a coin, but oh wait, this is you put up the wrong thing.
Hold on, I got it. I'll fix
it. It's okay. I'll just say it while you're getting it up on the screen. My 4-point bet, my home run bet, is OG Anunoby as the first basket scorer plus 425. And I looked at this, and you know what convinced me to make this my home run bet? Mitchell Robinson as the first basket scorer was plus 500. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm getting OG at plus 4. And now, granted, Mitch is, could put back an offensive rebound, like a putback or whatever. To me, though, it's like there should be a bigger gap there. And we know they run design plays for OG. Like, couldn't you see them coming out of the gate with like try to get OG on a cut to the basket? Especially if they are playing up on Cat and letting Cat work from above the arc and make those passes he loves to make. It's just like, again, it seemed like good value. I mean, who the hell knows what's going to happen at the first play of the game, but plus 425, I liked it.
That's interesting because for game 3, I actually bet Mitch's first basket score, and it was like plus 1,500.
No, yeah, tonight it was plus 5. Unless I saw it wrong.
No. I think you're right. I just find it interesting that the number, like, for them to go to plus 1,500 to, all right, OG or Mitch flip a coin, I find very interesting. Yeah.
And also, it's not like OG isn't scoring in this series. I tweeted it out the other day. 16 points in all 3 games so far, and he is heating up as we're moving along. Had his most efficient game in game 3. Okay, my best bet, our 5-point bet. So this is both of our best bets. The official pick for our betting and sweating.
Before we get to that,
oh yes, that's right.
Let us get to this.
Oh yeah, well, this is kind of important. Did you know you could earn up to 10% back on your bets, win or lose, and then use fan cash on team gear on fanatics.com, bonus bets or profit boosts in the Fanatics Sportsbook app. Stay tuned for exclusive offers all playoffs long. And actually, while I'm doing this, I don't know if I'm like jumping the gun here, but if you go over to the Knicks Film School Twitter account, I believe retweeted like within the last couple hours. Here it is. A offer to get a discounted tickets. I'm actually going to retweet this right now. So if you missed this, I'm retweeting it. Okay. A special offer on Fanatics Fest tickets. They are on sale now, but if you go get them through Knicks Film School with the special code and whatnot, again, see the tweet that I am literally sending out at this moment, you get a discount. So check that out. Okay. Our betting and sweating official picks from our bettors and sweaters. We got Jeff J, who has Josh Hart Is that over 8.5 rebounds?
Yes, it is. We are
Over
blind
8.5
and old.
rebounds. I like that. That's at +10 or -105.
Mhm.
Sorry, I can't see worth a goddamn.
That makes two of us.
What do you think of that one, by the way? Josh Hart over 8.5 rebounds.
So again, I really like. I was looking along. Take a long look at Josh Hart triple double. So any double digit stats that Josh Hart gets, I'm not going to poo poo.
Yeah, no. I love this one. Mensa's pick. Siakam under 20.5 points, -105. That's an interesting hedge on my Siakam most points on the Pacers bet.
That's just meant to be a hater, and I support it.
And we love every ounce of Mensa's haterade. And then last but not least, Andrew Claudio, GMAC, Karl Anthony Towns over 1.5 threes, -150. So ye of little confidence, Andrew Claudio. Doesn't have the stones to make your cat 2 or more threes bet. I like that one. I like over 1.5. And no, -150, not the best value, but is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay.
Right.
Now for our best bets.
So you're first, and I saw this bet, and I think this bet is fantastic.
So, look, crazy things happen. Maybe the Knicks go into Indiana tonight and absolutely blow the doors off the Pacers. Maybe it is a redux of Boston Game 6. Possible. It's possible. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, though. Every other win the Knicks have had in this postseason has been by 10 or fewer points. Is that correct?
I believe that is correct. I'll check.
I should probably have officially double checked that. If they weren't actually by 10 or less, they've been all damn close. The Knicks have won exactly one game by a bunch of points, and you could understand the circumstances that led to that. Boston had expended all of their emotional energy in Game 5 in Boston, and then the Knicks were just hell on wheels in Game 6.
Mm-hmm.
Again, is it possible that the Knicks go into Indiana and this is an easy win against Indiana? Sure, it's possible. I would posit, though, that it is more likely that if the Knicks do win, it is going to be a close game, which is why my best bet is Knicks to win by 10 or fewer points, and I got this at +230.
So did a quick check. All of their wins have been 10 points or less, except for 2, the aforementioned Celtics win, and they won Game 1 against Detroit by 11. But that was the game where they were down
by double digits
and came back. And I remember that because I had Knicks -9.5 in that game, and it hit. And I was a very happy man as I went and spent all that money at the bar afterward. So some of it. But no, as soon as I saw this bet, I said, this is fantastic because aside from Game 6, where the opponent's best player was no longer playing, and everyone else and the rest of them after a half was like, you know what? F this, and started booking flights to Puerto Vallarta and Cancun on the bench. Every game has been 10 or less. So I love this bet.
Okay. Which leads to your best bet.
So for my best bet, Karl Anthony Towns double-double and Knicks win +175. Karl Anthony Towns has had, in his last 10 games, has had a double-double 8 times. The Knicks have won 7 of those games. So similar to
7 of his 8 double-doubles they've won.
Yes.
Okay.
So similar to you saying, if they win, it's going to be like this. If Karl Anthony Towns gets a double-double, the Knicks will likely win the game.
Okay.
So the money line is like +110, I believe, when I last checked. So why not get some more value on betting on something Karl Anthony Towns has done 80% of the time?
I love it. Again, both of us, a lot of our bets are centered around like the Knicks winning this game. I want to say it like very clearly. Is there a world where that does not happen? And the Pacers come in tonight and they make up for a very poor shooting performance in Game 3, and the Knicks, are the team that they have been for most of the year, which is to say very inconsistent. Yeah, of course, it's possible, but I don't know, man. I think we're gonna get a I think they will show up in the way that we would hope them to show up for them to show up tonight. Okay. Those are all of our picks in regards to the game tonight. We do have a couple out of town bets, and there's only one NBA game, so our out of town bets are baseball related. You're gonna start us off here, Sean. For 1 point, give a game line or spread from a different game going on tonight.
Yes. So all of our bets are baseball related except for one.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Bet right here.
There you
No,
go.
it's all good. That is the Connecticut Sun are getting 4.5 points tonight against the Dallas Wings. Why am I taking this bet? Because the Connecticut Sun are 0-4. And I think the last time I picked the game involving the Sun, I said I picked Nafisa Colley to go under because she's the Lynx best player. And I'm like, this game will be over by halftime. And it wasn't. So the Connecticut Sun stink. However, so do the Dallas Wings because both teams are 0-4. So if you're giving me 4.5 points at home against an 0-4 team, I am going to take it.
You know, before you just said all that, I knew the Connecticut Sun were a basketball team that plays in the WNBA. And now I know more than I did a few minutes ago, and I'm thankful for that. I also know the New York Metropolitans are a baseball team that plays in the National League, and despite much negativity surrounding them, they are a good baseball team. So that's why I'm taking Mets minus 1.5 for minus 125. That is my out of town game bet. And then to finish off my bets for the night, a player or prop bet from a different game going on. So, Sean, I don't know if you know, I've been doing these spots on SNY during Honda Sports Night. Shout out to all the fine folks over there who have been kind enough to have me on. And they have me log on, the Zoom early, and I get to see the show that's leading up to my appearance. And it's always Met stuff. And it feels like every time I've been on, Brett Beatty has done something wonderful for the Mets. So I'm like, okay, this Brett Beatty character must be good. So I went and I found Brett Beatty one or more hits. And it's not the best juice in the world, minus 180. But what can you do? Brett Beatty's really good, apparently.
You have made Kevin Danishevsky's day.
Is he a Brett Beatty fan?
Fan does not begin to describe how Kevin Danishevsky feels about Brett Beatty.
That's great.
Who has an on-base percentage of like 295, but that's neither here nor there.
He's the new Quentin Grimes then.
Yeah. Yes. So listen, Fanatics has a lot of hope that Brett Beatty can get one hit today if they're offered this at minus 180. So
there you go.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Kevin. For my out of town prop, I'm going with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to hit a home run at plus 550.
Okay.
Vladdy Jr. has been hitting the ball hard lately, and also I did a little bit of research. So they're playing the Texas Rangers tonight in Arlington, Texas.
Okay.
Last season, Mr. Guerrero Jr. hit 462 with a 500 on base and a 1,000 slugging percentage, and 13 in I forget how many games last year. And lifetime in that ballpark, he's batting 358 with a 424 on base and a 547 slugging. So again, Vladimir Guerrero, and he's been hitting the ball hard lately, plus 550. Go ahead and make that bet now. The bet I wanted to make was Gunnar Henderson from the Baltimore Orioles for hit home run at plus 700, but that game started at 6:35. I knew by the time we got here, that game was already started. And if you hit a home run in the first inning, you would have laughed at me. Not you, Jonathan, but
not me.
People watching. So
that's well. There you go. I again would like to point out that I knew Vladimir Guerrero had a child, and that child played baseball, and that he was a good baseball player. I knew all of those things before you started talking, and I'm really proud of myself for all of that. Okay, that does it for this edition of Betting and Sweating, unless I've forgotten anything.
Well, we do have one super chat.
Oh, we have a super chat. Okay, let's pull it up here.
All right.
Oh, this is very kind. Javier Montalvo. John, my condolences. Thank you very much. Sean, root for a great team Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid. I couldn't have gotten that more wrong if I tried. Tibbs, do a Costanza and do the opposite like last game. And feature Cat and use right. Let's freaking go Knicks. Fire Tibbs. Hey, listen, you got a lot in there.
You got a lot in there for yes. And honestly, John, I know I reached out to you on Sunday, but condolences as well from us and the entire Knicks Film School family. And Javier, so rooting for Madrid, unless you're from Madrid, rooting for Madrid is like waking up and say, you know what? I'm going to root for the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. That's
so many people do not know I root for Tottenham Hotspur, and the reason I root for Tottenham Hotspur is because my family live in Tottenham, North London. So I literally picked the home team, and we won a trophy for the first time in 17 years last Wednesday, and I will be shameless about it all summer long. All right, so thank you, Javier, for your generous contribution.
I'm thinking of different Costanza Tibbs comparisons. Like, remember when I wrote about this in a comment to someone earlier today, when George tries to combine food, television, and sex. I'm trying to think about what the Tibbs version of that would be. Maybe it's playing like Cat and Mitch and Precious Achua together all at once. I don't know that I would advise Thomas Shamus to do that tonight, but you never know. The East, hey, the East is big, man.
Yes, it is.
On that note, yes, thank you for tuning in to another edition of Betting and Sweating, presented by our very good friends at Fanatic Sportsbook. Needless to say, if you're watching this and you're interested in getting in on the action, Fanatic Sportsbook is right there for you. All of these bets are live right up until game time. It is the easiest app in the world to use. And the best part is you get rewarded whether you win or lose, thanks to Fan Cash, which is how I got the shirt behind me that I was wearing the other night, my hat that I've been wearing, on all kinds of stuff, my piece of Knicks court that I got, tons of great stuff on there. But as for us, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Betting and Sweating. We will be back with more fun and games before you know it. Peace out.